What's going on, everyone? My name is Brandon Hainline. Now behind me sits a Jeep Wrangler that used to have a Sky One Touch power top. Now in a previous video I showed you how to remove that, and by viewer request we are going to show you how to install it today without having any wind noises or water leaks. Now what you need to know is that this is your header seal. Now this is a two-person job. We just bring it right over top and set it down. Let's go ahead and get that done. And just like that, the rear quarter glasses and the doors are off. All right, we got high pressure going everywhere. What in the world? All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. Now, I want to make sure that you watch it all the way to the end because there are a lot of key points that you need to know to make sure you don't have any wind noises or water leaks. Now, if you did not know that you could remove the Sky One Touch power top, make sure you see the previous video. I will leave that in the description and up here in the top right corner. Now, having that said, make sure you comment down below and let me know, will you be removing your Sky One Touch power top or not? All right, let's go ahead and get started. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to educate you a little bit about the weather strippings on the Jeep itself, okay? So I'm going to be using some terminology and I want to make sure that you understand what we're talking about. All right, this here is going to be what we call the front header seal, okay? This header seal goes all the way down the front there. This little trough here is the water management system for when water gets past this, it comes down into this trough. It goes to your left or to your right, and it goes down into this hole. That little hole, therefore, has a drain tube that comes down here, goes into this area and comes out in the fender well. All right, this is called the header seal, front header seal. All right, second thing, this is called a B pillar, okay? This section here, this is your A pillar, this is your B pillar. This is called a mucket, okay? So this is gonna be your B pillar mucket, driver's side B pillar mucket. Sounds crazy, but that's what it is. All right, your header seal, this right here, this section right here is where you can really mess up, okay? If this gets folded underneath, okay? That gets folded underneath and then you set it in there, that's gonna cause a water leak, all right? We wanna make sure that it does not fold underneath. Now the same thing goes with your B pillar mucket. You wanna make sure this is not folded under like that. So when you set it down, when we set it down on here, we're gonna make sure that's not folded in. We'll be doing that in a moment, okay? Some might ask, what are these holes for? These holes are for when water gets past this in here, it goes straight down in here and goes down. So the Jeep, whether you realize it or not, has a lot of water management systems in here, okay? All these little things, they do something. They channel water to where they need to go. Now we're going to go ahead and get started on installing the actual Sky One Touch assembly. So the first thing you want to do is install the rear back glass frame area. Now as you can see, I have taken the glass off of this. Now the reason I've taken the glass off of this is because it's a lot easier to handle and you don't want to take a chance in breaking your glass. Now if you want to know how to remove the back glass from the rear frame assembly, make sure you'll watch this video right here, okay? Now that is going to be in the description down below, and this will show you how to remove it safely. This is a lot lighter and a lot easier to handle, okay? Now the reason we're going to put this on first is because of these tabs right here, okay? The top assembly is going to come and sit down on top of this. That's why we have to install this first. If we install the top first, then we'd have to lift the back up to put this on. It's a lot more complicated and you don't want to take a chance of messing anything up. Now I also wanted to show you something here, guys. Look at these brackets here. Don't they just look like they're just made to fit right there? I think Jeep knew what they were doing. Now before we go ahead and install this rear glass frame, there are 4 bolts that hold this on. Now if you look right here, I'm going to show you those 4 bolts. They look just like that. And they have a 5mm Allen hex to them, okay? All right, let's go ahead and install this here and bam, right into the hole there. And the same thing, come on now, right into the hole there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and start these bolts by hand. All right, now that we have these hand started, we're going to go ahead and tighten them up. Got to use my little swivel here. All right, don't want to go too tight. This one here is a little bit tricky to get to, so this is where we got to use the swivel at. Now if you want to, you can go ahead and connect this. All right, there it is. I want that. And the rear washer connects right to this. This just presses right on. Now, next thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and bring these arms over here to right in this area here, because the bolt has got to go through this area and this area. All right, do that with the other side. So we're going to lift it up, make sure it doesn't scratch anything. I'm going to set it right on top right there, okay? So a couple things you need to know before we put the hard top on. It is pretty heavy. I would say it probably weighs about the 100 plus range, somewhere in that range. But the key is it's very awkward. All right, so it's a little bit awkward. There's a couple different ways you could put it on, but I do think that this is the best way so that we're not dragging anything or scratching nothing. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pick it up here. All right, and we're going to just take it straight up. We're going to go straight up with it. All right. And we're going to walk it forward. All right, come on. All right. Keep going. All right, and right there. I'm going to set it down right there. Perfect. Not that hard at all. All right, so now we're going to make sure that we have these key areas that I was talking about. We got to make sure that they are right. All right, now that we got the Sky One Touch power top on, we need to check these areas to make sure that we are sealed properly. All right, so that looks good right there. As you can see, this looks nice. It's not folded in, okay? If this was folded under, that would be bad. Same thing here. That looks good. This looks good. Looks nice. That looks nice. All right, I gotta see a problem. There we go. There's a problem. All right, we gotta fix that. All right, the way you fix this is we're just gonna lift this up. Make sure that it's underneath that. We don't want that sticking up. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this B-pillar mucket. These here look perfect, all right? They are sitting in there just right, the way they're supposed to, right up against that foam. Same thing here with this A-pillar. This mucket here, this header seal, looks very nice. So that should not leak. Now, one last area we want to check is right here, okay? We want to make sure that this is sitting in the right area, and this is sitting perfect the way it should be. Sitting right down in there, and that is very nice. Now guys, if you saw the first video, you will know that the bolts here are extremely important. They are different lengths and they have to go in the correct spot, or you could damage the actual frame of the Sky One Touch. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I wanna show you the different lengths and why they need to go back in the right place. Now, if you have not watched the previous video about removing, please make sure you watch that. And because this is important. So I'm going to show you here the different lengths of the bolts, so we will know how long they really are and which one's supposed to go where. As you can see here, these three here are going to be the front door, okay? These here are going to go in this area right here. The first one is going to go right here. 1, 2, 3, all right? So one, as you can see, is about 1 inch. Number 2 is a 3 inch. Number 3 is almost a 4.5 incher. All right. Now this is also the rear door. These are the little bit 4.5 inch bolts also, the rear door. And then the rear cargo area, take the 3 inch bolts, three 3 inch bolts. All right, so let's go ahead and start with these three. 1, 2, 3, okay? 1 is gonna be this in here. Now we're gonna start all these by hand, okay? Number 2 is going to be your shorter one, okay? It's going to go right here, right? As you can see, they fit right in and they start perfectly by hand. I don't have to force them or anything. Now this is your number 3 one. It's going to go right here. As you can see, it also starts right by hand with no problems, all right? They line up perfectly. Now this is going to stick down like this. It's not going to go all the way up. That's normal. That's the way it's supposed to be. All right, we're going to take the rear door, the 3 rear doors. They are all the same length. Those 3 are going to go 1 here, 2 here, 3 there. All right, we're going to start with this. Gonna stick that up in there. All right, start this by hand. Now we have bolt number 4 here, number 5 and number 6. Now what's very interesting on number 5 and 6, if you do start this up and you're like, what the heck, what's going on? Why is there's like nothing, no threads. There's a problem there. The problem is you don't have this bar in place, all right? This bar is supposed to go underneath this top. Now let's go ahead and put this where it's supposed to be. Now I'm gonna lift up on the top, okay? And I'm putting this where it's supposed to be, right there. Now this bracket here goes in between the actual Sky One Touch and the metal roll bar. Now when you get that in the correct position, you'll be able to put this right up in there. Screws right in by hand, okay? Same thing goes with number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 6 is gonna just start here by hand. All right. See, the number 5 bolt and the number 6 bolt stick further down from each other. So this is normal. This is the way it's supposed to be, all right? So just want to make sure you understand that. All right, now we got the rear cargo area, which is going to be 7, 8, and 9. All right, so 7 is going to go right here. It's going to be a little hole right there. All right, go up in. Holes are not lined up properly. Now that's the most important thing, is starting everything by hand, okay? If you don't start everything by hand, you risk actually stripping these threads out, and that is something I don't want to take a chance of doing. So we're starting these by hand, starting them by hand. There you go. All right, now we are going to use the DeWalt, the electric drill, to actually save us some time, but we're not going to tighten them up. All right. All right. There you go. Now this is a 5mm Allen wrench. All right, as you can see, I'm not tightening these up. I'm just getting them. All right, so now we want to go back with a ratchet and this 5mm again, and we just want to snug them up. All right, it's all you want to do, okay? You're not trying to be Hulk here and go crazy. We just want to snug them up, okay? You can get them too tight. Do not strip these out, okay? You can feel, guys, when it gets tight. When it gets tight, that's when we stop. Do keep in mind, if you do strip any of these bolts out, the whole top rail assembly would have to be replaced. And if you strip it, it's not going to be covered under the manufacturer's warranty. All right, so you want to make sure that you connect the rear motor assembly back up. It just clips in right there, and that's done. Now, don't forget to tighten up this bolt here, this one, and that one there. They can be easily forgotten here. All right, so we just want to make sure that we got this snug right there, bam, and then also right here. Nice and snug. All right, now it's time to test it out. So let's go ahead and turn the key on and let's see if it works. Now we're gonna go go ahead and put the rear glass on. It's just really simple here, just 4 bolts. And we're gonna go ahead and put our shocks on. These are super easy to put on. Snap here, snap right there. Now we're going to connect the rear back glass washer and the rear back glass heating grid here, and this just pops right on. Okay, no problem. Snap that in there. Bring this around. Last thing we need to do is put the rear windows and the doors in, so let's go ahead and get that done. And just like that, the rear quarter glasses and the doors are on. Now I'm going to take a quick test drive down the interstate to make sure that we don't have any excessive wind noises. And also we're going to stop by the high pressure car wash to make sure that we don't have any leaks. All right guys, getting on up to speed here, around 60 miles an hour. Don't hear anything abnormal. Normal road noise at 60 miles an hour with a Sky One Touch power top. All right, now I'm gonna run it on up to 70, see if I hear anything abnormal at that point. There's no abnormal noises at all from removing the Sky One Touch, guys. Now we're gonna go ahead and run through the car wash to make sure we don't have any water leaks. All right, we got the green light, let's go. All right. All right, we got high pressure going everywhere. Just had some water come in at the bottom of the doors, actually. What is this? What in the world? Oh, I guess that's why it's leaking with high pressure coming in the bottom. Came in down here at the bottom of the doors. Oh, what in the world? What is that? I guess I did that earlier with the window. What the heck? All right, well, don't do that to your door. All right, no water leaks. Not seeing nothing, nowhere. Even with this messed up right here, I don't even know how I messed that up. Still have no leaks. Nice, nice. Nothing here. I think we passed the test, boys. All right, here we get some more water. All right, she's coming down hard. All right, still no water anywhere. I cannot believe this thing is. Holy moly, it sounds like a hurricane. Now, if it's not going to leak in that car wash, it's not going to leak at all. That was a high pressure car wash, just pounding this thing with water and had no leaks. So guys, you should feel very, very comfortable about taking the top off and not having any leaks or wind noises. All right, now since we've got the complete Sky One Touch top assembly installed, let's go over a few key points. Now the back glass frame area has to be installed first. Second of all, you're going to bring the whole complete top assembly down. Remember, it does have guide pins in it, so you really can't go wrong. Come straight down. Now you want to make sure that your weather strippings are not folded over. Next, you're going to put all of your bolts in. All right, you're going to hand start those bolts, and then you're going to hand tighten. After that, you're going to make sure that the power motor is plugged in back in the back there. And then guys, just verify it works. It's really that easy. Honestly, it takes longer to take all 4 doors off than it actually does to take the Sky One Touch top assembly down. Now, we did take it on the interstate. We gave it a little wind test. There was no excessive wind noises, and also we took it through the high pressure car wash, as you just saw, and there was no water leaks coming from the Sky One Touch top area. Guys, I want to thank you so much for watching, and if you would like to support this channel, make sure you go down in the description area below. There is an Amazon link, and it's right to your homepage of Amazon. All right, anything you purchase will go to support the channel, and I appreciate it very much. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're smarter now than you were when you started this video. Have a great night.